Welcome to the program, Bill. The thing that surprised me most about these documents is that the government, the British government, government agencies, even bothered compiling them. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would, and I think that's one of the most important things, that when people say, oh, the government says that they have no bearing on national security, or we really don't track these things, that's just not true. The release of the MOD documents this time and the prior release of the MOD documents prove that the British government, as well as the United States government, these governments are actively tracking and investigating all of these sightings or incidents.
But are they doing that, as the report implied, because at the time of the Cold War they thought that what they might be dealing with were some form of Soviet incursion?
That's part of it, I'm sure. I mean, even going back to 1947, one of the earliest thoughts was this could have been a Russian plane, a secret Russian craft, perhaps a Nazi plane held over from World War II, or even a Japanese balloon bomb that these were launched on the United States during World War II. But the level of technology and the kinds of materials that were recovered at Roswell showed that it was something other than a conventional craft.
Now, with all the threats facing the United States and indeed Britain today, turmoil in the Middle East, Islamic extremism, terrorism, you name it, are you telling me that there are still people today in government agencies looking out for this stuff?
Absolutely. For example, one of Britain's most important and controversial UFO incidents took place in December 1980 at RAF Bentwaters, a NATO nuclear weapons base. Here, despite the fact that both Britain and the United States publicly turned away from this and kind of ostracized the people involved, the records show and the witnesses explain that there was an active Air Force investigation, that British agents from one of the clandestine agencies interviewed neighbors in the area, and that the British and the United States actually were talking to each other about the incident. And then 15 years later at Cosford, there was a huge flying triangle that the RAF noticed, that the National Weather Service in Britain noticed, that people on the ground, police officers noticed, and the British sent a memo to the United States Department of Defense saying, listen, is this craft one of yours? And the U.S. responded to the Brits by saying to the Ministry of Defense, was this one of your craft? So clearly the British and the United States, despite their public face on this, were actively investigating this sighting in 1995.